He is not the regular intellectual with bogus titles not backed by substantial evidences. Neither does he pride himself as an excellent scholarly mind that he obviously is. Despite his huge and copiously intimidating dossier that reveals him as the first Nigerian and African student to win a Hornbeck Scholar Award at the University of Denver, Colorado, United States of America in 1996, an academic prize meant solely for students with a 4.0 GPA, the highest graduating grade point. This indeed is the modest summation of the impressive personality profile of the charismatic Nigerian achiever of note, whose splendid traditional retirement in the sociocultural sphere of his native community, as well as several decades of meritorious service to fatherland, we are here congregated to celebrate. Welcome to the dignifying world of Dr. Agbai, Eke Agbai, an uncommon Nigerian with huge academic and professional accomplishments, one of the best critical thinkers of our time, and an unassuming global citizen whose philanthropic gestures to his fellow compatriots know no limits. Born on March 3, 1960 in Lagos, Dr. Agbai Eke Agbai hails from Abriba community in a Hofia local government area of Abia State, southeast Nigeria. For his early education, this great man of letters had a most trying period, considering that it was accentuated by the Nigerian Civil War that almost marred the entire process. Fortunately for him, however, his parents, who knew the essence of education, came in handy, coupled with his academic brilliance that later earned him a scholarship to study abroad.
I had the privilege of being born at a time when you didn't even realize you were an Igbo man. There was no need for it. As I said, born in Lagos State. It was a very loving growing up with parents. But I must say, after the war, it was very difficult. I had to trek from the city of Ihialem in present-day Anambra State to Abriba, my hometown. You can imagine being subjected to that hardship as a young boy, 10 years old. But thankfully, because of my parents' interest in education, they did everything possible to make sure that that did not affect my performance in school. And to the glory of God, I did exceptionally well and obtained a scholarship to travel to the United States.
The academic achievements of this erudite and creative business developer with a high sense of decency would grossly be incomplete without taking a peep into his experiences at the University of Denver, Colorado, USA, where he was voted the best public speaker and also awarded the Hornbeck Scholar Award for Academic Excellence.
I was a stammerer, could hardly speak fluently. I was able to overcome that challenge, and I became the best public speaker in Denver. Number two, I won what is called a Hornbeck Scholar at Denver University, and Hornbeck Scholars are those graduating with a 4.0 GPA. The highest graduating point is 4.0, and when you make a 4.0 GPA, it's called sum cum laude, an equivalent of first class. And I was given a citation for it, and that was one of my proudest moments. That a young man from the village of Abriba went through the Nigerian Civil War, education being disrupted during the war, yet was able to come to the United States, competed with the blacks, with the white, with the Japanese, with the Chinese, and graduated as a Hornbeck Scholar. That was both humbling and also very fulfilling.
By every measurable standard, The story of this exceptionally gifted breed of Nigerian is one that adequately fits into the fascinating narrative of a patriot who went the extra mile to attain greatness in diverse spheres of life despite all odds. And as an avid lover of education, he has given scholarships to many young people to tell the story.
I realized that the only way I could extricate myself from the shackles of poverty was through that strategic investment in human capital development called education. So every effort was made. My dad was a civil servant of a low cadre. My mom was a businesswoman. So literally, I would say that I grew up from a very humble background.
True to that commitment, Dr. Eke stands tall today in the field of strategic communications and international relations, with various academic degrees to his credit. They comprise Masters in International Law and Diplomacy from the University of Lagos, BA International Relations cum Journalism, University of Denver, as well as PhD in International Relations, also from the University of Denver, USA. This erstwhile Commissioner for Information to Abia State Government also has several awards and honors that include President, Nigerian Society of International Law and Diplomacy, Member, Board of Trustees, Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library, and winner, Golden Key National Honor, Society for Scholastic Achievement, USA.
Eke is a very intelligent young man, extremely intelligent. It's not just academic intelligence. Eke has native intelligence put together. And he's not afraid to say his mind. And most times he tells you his mind even when it is not in his own interest. He was a commissioner for information, spoke things the way they are, and he did a very good job as a commissioner for information in Abia State. In fact, if you check the records, his tenure has not been beaten by anybody, and he's loved by quite many. And I have no doubt that he will continue to render his numerous intellectual services to not just the community, but to the country at large. Eke is a brilliant man.
Dr. Eke Agbai is an accomplished man. He's a very polished, decent human being, a very successful entrepreneur, a successful policy strategist, in fact, communications expert, name it. And this is a man who has devoted a good part of his life in serving people.
Dr. Agbai expresses kindness, he expresses empathy, he expresses intellect, he expresses culture, tradition. I'm aware that Dr. Agbai has a foundation through which he's helped so many people, a couple of young people who have benefited from his free education program up to the university. But more importantly, Dr. Agbai is a family man to the core. He loves his family with so much passion.
Dr. Agbai is one man that is deeply engrossed in the tradition and culture of his native Abriba community. Having successfully navigated the Igba Nnono, Igba Ekbe, Ilaucheoba, Izarefa, Igwamang, and Ibromo, he was admitted into the Imeuche status some years back, which is the seventh of the rites of passage the Abriba male child must successfully pass through. And today's ceremony marks the formal traditional retirement from Imeuche chieftaincy with pomp and pageantry as he joins the Elders' Council.
Abriba is a very traditional society. The Abriba Asian Kingdom has one of the richest culture. And Imeuche, in a nutshell, is the time of retirement, traditional retirement. So Imeuche is, in a way, is the time the community says thank you to you for having served the community a time families come to give you gifts, children come to celebrate you, the community come to celebrate you, friends come to celebrate you, giving you something that you use into retirement. But I also see it also differently in addition to that. Imuche is a time that you will witness what may happen upon your demise. So Abreba has a tradition to celebrate you when you are alive. So that's in the aspect of Imuche that has not been highlighted, which to me is the reason I'm even interested in it, because that is a time for me to thank God that He has given me a life worthy of my service to my community, worthy of my service to my state, worthy of my service to my country, and worthy of my service globally, especially those of us who are fortunate and privileged to be global citizens, an American citizen, an European citizen, and an African citizen, and a Nigerian citizen. And that is something that not many people have the opportunity to be. I do not go to anywhere in the world looking for a visa.
On this auspicious occasion of Dr. Eke's traditional retirement, it has been an outpouring of congratulatory messages and felicitations for the man generally regarded as an embodiment of generosity, dependability, hard work, integrity, and loyalty. From former Nigerian President Chief Olusegun Aremu Okikiola Obasanjo, GCFR, to former Director General, Nigeria Stock Exchange, Professor Ndi Okereke Onyuke, OON, and Eniola Bello, the Managing Director, This Day Newspapers, and a host of other international friends and associates across the globe. The list is simply endless.
I'm very thankful for our friendship. I learned a lot about you. I learned a lot from you, and it's always a pleasure spending quality time with you.
Since 2013, I've had the privilege of watching over your real estate investments in the United States. During that time, we have formed a friendship and a bond that has been mutually beneficial.
For somebody to work as hard as he has worked all his life, Dr. Agbai, I'm talking from experience now. There's a man of integrity, the man that is very truthful, very straightforward. He says what he means and he does what he says. He never reneges on any promise he makes.
I, on behalf of my wife and children, want to wish you a successful retirement in the active service to the good people of Agbai Kingdom.
As the Abriba community celebrates your glorious traditional retirement and achievements, it is our prayers and wishes that you grow stronger in strength, wisdom, and all-round enablement in your continued service to humanity. We say, well done and congratulations, sir.